YouTube, I am so excited. I'm just going to start off. I'm going to tease you a little bit, okay? I'm going to tease you. This is something I've been waiting for such a long time, and I finally have it. Oh, I'm so excited. You have no idea. So I'm just going to show you the manual right now, and then I'm going to show you the crane. Look at this. Look at this. This is proof that I already have it. It feels like Christmas, you guys. You have no idea the kind of technology I have now. I have two different gimbals, one from Kane TV, one from Zhiyun. That's how you actually pronounce the company, Zhiyun Tech. And so I sold my Osmo. I needed something better, and now I have this. Now I can use any camera I wish, and now I can with the Zhiyun Crane. Here it is. Here it is. I have it attached to a GorillaPod right now. But here it is. Look at this. Look at this. Ah, I'm so happy. Wow. This is something cool. So I'm gonna go 2, 3. Mode 1. Look at this. Isn't this the coolest thing ever? Try and go in inverted mode. Let me stand up and wow. Hang on. That's not how you do inverted mode. You go like this. Yeah, look at that. Inverted mode, baby. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Guys, this is intense tech. This is cool. Look at that. This is for those low angle shots. I have a little quick release plate up here. And a cool little tip is that you can use this quick release plate as like a little stopper. So that way a lot of the weight goes towards this quick release plate and it's a lot easier to grasp. So if I'm going to go to follow mode. Pressing the wrong button here. There we go. There's follow mode. Boom. Nice and smooth. And don't worry, I'm going to have a tutorial about this, how to shoot with the Zhiyun, I keep pronouncing it wrong, Zhiyun Tech Crane. I mean, look at this thing. All right, cool. So this thing, I found it on eBay, brand new for $569, which is cheaper than anywhere else you're going to find it. And it's brand new, so I didn't buy it used. So I'm going to flip it back into upright mode. Oh, I can't go that way because it's going to hit the other motor. Go this way. So it tries to predict what what position you're holding it in. So whenever I try to go in inverted mode, it's going to spaz for a little bit, and then it's going to detect what mode you're in, and then you can mess with it that way. I'm still getting used to it because I also have a Kane TV Argo gimbal, which is a similar gimbal. It has a slightly higher payload capacity and it has a dual handle system. So, I mean, this is freaking cool, guys. Like, whenever I go traveling, I won't be able, oh, so I gotta get used to it. So, whenever I go traveling, see that? Sometimes it trips out. So let me see if I can get it back to upright mode. You know, just hold it like this. There we go. That's easier that way. You bought it for $519. Did you buy the version 1 or the version 2? Because this is the version 2. Let me tilt up. Maybe I can show you. So this is the version 2 crane. This has the new quick release system. I don't know how well you can see it. Let me see if I can change the exposure here. Slightly change the exposure. Maybe that will be better for you guys. So this is the new quick release system. It's not really a quick release system. It's actually a just the sliding system, just to help you out with balancing. It's supposed to help you out, create a better balancing, give you less. I can't even speak. I'm so excited. This little system here allows you to quickly balance your system when it comes down to pitch. It's slightly better than the version 1s, so that's why I went with a version 2. This was literally released, I think, a month or 2 months ago. So they're selling a ton of these guys, really. I'm impressed with it. So, and they also sell. So they sell the Crane dual arm system. So you can actually buy a dual arm system for the Crane. But there's a pretty big drawback with that. And with the dual handle system, you don't get that top handle like you do on the Ronin M, and on the Cane TV Argo. I really like having that top handle. So instead of investing in that, I've had this thing for a while. This is a GorillaPod. So this thing right here will work as a dual handle system, in my opinion. So watch, I'm going to mount it on the GorillaPod. Okay. Boom, it's all locked up. Now I can actually move the arms to make it act like a handle. And what I do, I use the third leg and put it against my body to make it more stable. And then, boom, there we go. We have a pretty good dual arm system there. This will actually, by having that third leg going against your stomach or your body, you're actually stabilizing the system a lot more. Let me see if I can tilt down the camera here so you can see what I'm doing. So I have it against my stomach right now. And if I want to have a really nice smooth pan, this is how I achieve that. So I can turn around a little bit for you. You can see exactly what I'm doing here. Boom. You're lucky, man. You found it for $519. I couldn't find it anywhere for that price. Did you buy it brand new? $519. Do you want to share the link with everybody? But yeah, I couldn't find it for that price. But here it is. I have it propped up against my GorillaPod here. So, okay. Let's go into another room where I can plug in my laptop because the battery is going to die. But okay. All right, cool. Sorry about that. I gotta plug in my laptop here. But that is the Zhiyun Crane. So if you have any questions, let me know. Okay. Cool. We're all set here. Okay. So let me turn down the brightness a little bit so it doesn't look so bad. I think that should be better. Put this light on me. The crane. Cool. All right. All right, let's answer some questions here. Carmen Clark is asking, would you go for the Zhiyun or a second camera currently? Only have one G7. Depends what kind of work you do, man. If you do a lot of interview work, definitely go with the second camera. If you do a lot of run and gun stuff like I do a lot of the time, go with the Crane. I mean, for $650, which is the MSRP for this thing, you're not going to get the best camera for that price. So you might as well go with this. Okay, Israel is saying, that's an amazing gimbal there, mentor. Oh man, I appreciate that. Thank you. MC Cathan's Films. I think that's, my vision's not that great right now. Do you use a Glidecam with a mic? Yes, I do. I use a Rode Stereo Video Mic Pro. I use the hot shoe mount sometimes. I put on my camera. And sometimes I even put a lavalier microphone on there. MC Drone says, hey Josh, on a similar note, I bought the smaller version Smooth Q as my Osmo Moel gave up. It's awesome. Oh, whoa, what happened to your Osmo? Because I used to have a DJI Osmo as well, and I sold it because I just didn't like it. It was just, the picture quality was horrible, and with this thing I can use basically every camera. Every camera I have I can use with this thing. And it's rated at 12 hours of battery life. I literally just got this like, what, 2-3 hours ago, so I'm still learning how to use it. But it's really easy to balance, so I'm going to put it in sleep mode, and I'll show you how well this thing balances. So I'm going to hold the mode button. There we go. It's asleep right now. See that? I balanced it perfectly to the point where, oh wait, maybe I didn't. No, I did. Wherever, in any direction I put the camera, it's going to stay. See that? So that's the kind of balance you want. And then you hold the mode button again, and it turns back on. Alright, so let me push the camera back here a little bit. Okay, so let's see if we can answer any questions here. Wow, D. Marshall, you are lucky, man. I bought mine a week ago, so maybe there is... I'm going to check Amazon right now. I want to see where you found it for $5.19. Damn. So what happened was an interesting story. I found this gimbal for $4.99 on a Chinese website, and the guy scammed me. He never shipped it out, and he never emailed me back, even though I emailed him a ton of times. So I was in a battle with him on PayPal. They refunded my money, and then I went with another seller on eBay. So be very sketchy. When prices are so low, it's most likely going to be too good to be true. So I can't believe it went on sale today. Lucky. Wow. Wow, $5.19. He's right. Damn. You got a good deal, my friend. You got a pretty good deal. If I would have waited a week, I could have gotten it for $5.19. I even checked Amazon a week ago, and it wasn't. The best price I found was on eBay. Wow, that's a good price. Good for you. Yeah, I'm not going to return it. I already spent the money on it. 60 bucks more. It's fine. Okay. MC is asking good monitors for wireless control for the for like production or live stream. What do you mean good monitors for wireless control? You mean a wireless monitor? Is that what you're asking? Israel saying he just got the new S60 Gradient Steadicam, hoping to start practicing with it. Yeah, man, start practicing. I just released a new tutorial, I believe today, 5 a.m. Yeah, I did, about how to use a Glidecam to replace a slider, dolly, and a crane. So check it out. I just released it on my channel today. And the same technique can be applied to these electronic gimbals. However, it's going to be slightly different with these electronic gimbals, which is why I'm going to make a separate tutorial on the Zhiyun Crane, on the King TV Argo. So, yeah. MC Drone is saying the roll motor packed in after 4 months, plus the Smooth Q is cheaper and has a 12-hour battery life. It can charge your mobile too. Wow, mobile, the roll motor broke, huh? Sorry about that, man. Cameron says, thanks, gotta run. Thank you so much, boss Israel. Thank you guys for the awesome comments. So, with my DJI Osmo tutorial, I kept telling people that they should shoot in flashlight mode because you're going to get smoother shots. Well, guess what? The same thing goes with the Zhiyun Crane. Boom, flashlight mode. And with this, because it's really front heavy, it's going to be a little bit tougher to shoot in flashlight mode. So I'm going to use 2 hands and shoot that way. See that? Now this is going to get you nice and steady dolly or slider shots, side to side. See that? Here's a profile view of what I'm doing. 2 hands. And again, I'm distributing my weight between my left leg into my right leg. So about 70% on one leg, going to 70% on the other leg. So leaning in, leaning out. That's how we're going to get those accurate sliding shots with the crane. All right. D. Marshall says I deserve way more subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. If you really feel that way, please share my channel with your friends. Ask your friends to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And so I got this thing this week. I also have a new bag from Think Tank Photo that I'm going to be reviewing. And I was really hoping that this crane, that this gimbal would fit in this Signature 13 bag from Think Tank Photo. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I mean, it can if I really want to, but then if I fit the crane in here, I can't fit any of my camera stuff, like my lenses, my actual camera. So this bag is excellent. It's just not big enough for this, unfortunately. I do have a shoulder bag from Think Tank Photo that is big enough, but this one is like more fashionable. It's more like if you're, you know, going on vacation, maybe not vacation, but maybe if you're going out in the street and you want to be a little bit more low profile. This does not look like a camera bag. It looks just like a, you know, laptop bag or just like a, you know, like a business bag. So, yeah. So the review for the bag will come out soon. And trust me, it's a bag that you're going to want to buy because it's extremely fashionable, made out of leather, wool-like material. So, all that good stuff. Okay. MC Catenan's Films. I have a Glidecam, but when using the mic with the muffler, it attracts wind due to the size. What do you mean it attracts wind due to the size? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that, please? D. Marshall saying, what camera lens do you have on the crane right now? So right now I'm using the Sony a7R II with a Zeiss 24-70. So it's basically the same camera they have that they put on the box. It's basically the same exact setup as this camera here. It's A7R II with the Zeiss. I think it's a 24-70. Or maybe it's a G Master. But it's a similar lens. Similar size. Alright, so that's basically what I'm using here. Sony a7R II. Now, what's interesting is that there's another company called, man, what are they called? They came out, Pilotfly. So Pilotfly is I believe it's a German and Japanese company. They came out with a similar gimbal to the crane, but with the roll motor down 45 degrees. So they lowered the roll motor down to about here. That way we can look at the screen on the camera. That's very smart. However, an issue that I see with that design is that when you want to do those cool roll moves in some of your shots, it's not going to give you a leveled roll. It's going to give you like this kind of roll instead of this kind of roll. So that's why I went with the crane. And the crane is also half the price. I tried to get Zhiyun to send me a review model. They said no, unfortunately. But that's okay. I mean, these are pretty expensive. I understand why a company wouldn't want to spend so much. But they do send review models out to people who have like 100,000 subs. I'm not there yet, but I'm working my way up there. Don't worry. And then I'll get a bunch of free equipment, and then I'll be able to do giveaways for you guys. I'll just send out all this free equipment so that way I can have giveaways, and that'll be a lot more fun for everybody. Would you ever come to Scotland? Of course I would. I would love to go to Scotland. I only hear good things about that place. I would love to come to Scotland. I want to get to the point on my YouTube channel where I do seminars. I would love to do like seminars in different countries. I want to be the youngest person doing filmmaking seminars around the world. That's my dream. So that's what I'm working towards. Philip Bloom is basically doing that. He's doing seminars for B&H. He's doing seminars all over the world for different companies. So that's what I want to be doing. I want to be an ambassador for a bunch of different companies, and help promote products. So that's what I want to do. But so far, with the crane right now, I'm very happy with it. MC says he's from Scotland. Awesome, man. Cool. Maybe we'll meet up whenever I go to Scotland. But here we go. So let's talk about the materials on the crane. It looks like it's made out of I think it's similar to I think it's aluminum. Feels like aluminum to me. The Cane TV Argo is made out of magnesium. Feels very similar, actually. So this might be magnesium as well. Actually, yes, it is. It's the same material that's made, that the A7R2 is made out of. So I'm going to say this is magnesium alloy. Very nice quality here. Now, let me put this on standby. I want to show you something that I'm not too happy about. The one negative that I have with the crane is that the roll motor, it doesn't let you go this far down, but when you do for packing up, it hits the pan motor. So the only way you can avoid that is if you lift up. Can you even lift it up? No, you can't. So there's no way of actually fixing it. Oh yeah, you can. If you change this setting here on the roll axis, you can actually fix that. But if you change that setting, you're going to unbalance your camera. So each time you pack it up and unpack it, you're going to have to do a rebalancing. So that, to me, is kind of a downside. They could have made this arm maybe half an inch taller. But I guess they didn't do that on purpose because that would actually increase the size of the system. They want to make it as compact as possible, and that's understandable. But overall, I'm getting really good at balancing it. I balanced it out of the box within 3 minutes for the first time ever. So I want to try and get down to 30 seconds. I want to be able to balance this thing in 30 seconds. So that's my goal with this. But when I do a comparison video of this gimbal compared to the Cane TV Argo gimbal, I'm going to show you which one performs better. I don't know yet because I need to shoot with both gimbals. But once I do, you're going to see. Now, another really cool feature is, my phone is in the other room, but you can actually wirelessly control this gimbal via your smartphone. Just like the DJI products, right? You can control it via your smartphone. The Cane TV Argo can't do that. It has its own little separate remote controller. And I can manually program the motors within that smartphone. The Cane TV Argo doesn't let you do that unless you plug it into a computer. So, I mean, there's a lot of pluses. So far, only one minus about the crane, and that is hitting the pan motor with this arm. But besides that, it's fantastic. The motors are extremely quiet. I can do really fast pans, and I can't hear a thing. So, I know that when I had the DJI Osmo, it was really loud. At least to the microphone and the camera, it was extremely loud. This thing, I don't hear anything. There's no fan. Thank gosh. Thank gosh. Thank God. I'm so excited about this thing. I can't even speak straight. But, yeah, I mean, with the Osmo, the fan was really loud. It could have, if you wanted to capture audio along with video by yourself, all using one rig, that would have been really tough with a fan running in the background. So this thing doesn't have any of that. No awkward noises here. D Marshall, except unlike DJI, it will probably focus. Yeah, so actually, look, we have some cool controls in the back here. We have a joystick, we have a picture-taking button, the mode button that if we hold it, it actually goes into standby, which is very convenient if we want to set down the crane and have the motor shut off and then instantly turn back on. I think that's a great feature. But this is something I will definitely take with me on my travels. The KTV Argo is a lot bigger than this, so I can't travel with it like I can with this thing. And this is a lot, you know, this does not attract as much attention, not nearly as much attention as the KTV Argo. Most people are going to look at this and they're going to think it's a selfie stick because it's so, you know, it's thin and people are not going to know what it is. Now the grip on the system, I wish they added a little bit of a rubberized grip here. Instead it's all metal. I know with the rubber grip I would have had a better, just a better grip. I feel like it can, if I loosen up my grip a little bit, it can slip. I wish they put rubber on here. But I can't complain. I can probably put on the rubber myself. But yeah, very happy with this thing. And this is how it stabilizes. I'm going to go into locked mode. Let's see what's locked mode. There we go. We're in locked mode now. See that? Stays really, really steady. Cool. I'm going to go back into standby mode. I want to show you something else. There's a little input here for a connection. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's on the pitch motor. You can actually hook up a camera cable to this thing and have it work with the handle with these controls here. So you can buy this cable through the Zhiyun Tech store. They'll ship it out to you. They make it for the Sony and the Panasonic cameras, and you can, you know, play with some camera controls right on the gimbal instead of going and touching your camera. So I like that feature. Now another thing I want to talk about is zooming without having to rebalance. Now this is another great feature of these electronic gimbals is that you can zoom without having to rebalance. Look, so I'm going to zoom. The motors are a little bit sensitive, but I can zoom and nothing happens to the pitch. See that? I'm zoomed. I'm going to zoom out. Boom. See, nothing happens to the pitch. It stays leveled. So these motors are pretty powerful. This is a heavy setup here. This metal, there's metal everywhere. The whole A7R2 is metal, magnesium alloy. Lens is also all metal. It's a heavy setup. So these motors are performing quite well, especially when it comes down to sound. I don't hear these motors at all. Usually you hear like a faint noise. I know with the KTV Argo I hear a little bit of a noise, but it only happens when I abruptly move the system around. It might have to do with the size of the motors and the amount of current that's going through it. But this is great. This is really great. And plus it has a selfie mode. So if I click the mode button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, boom, selfie. See that? And it tracks, it stays centered a lot better than the DJI Osmo as well, because I remember it had an issue where it would drift in selfie mode. So whenever I would do like cool orbit shots around me, the Osmo would start to drift away from the center. Press it 3 times again, it's going to reset and go to the front. Boom. Isn't that cool? And we also, in mode 2, I can control the roll. That's about as far as it goes, unfortunately, but that's all you need if you want to get creative with your shots. Go back to mode 1. You can keep that tilt, roll there. Now, something that the KTV Argo has that this gimbal doesn't is that I can manually set the angles of each motor by hand. This system unfortunately doesn't let you to do that. So on the KTV Argo, if I were to push down on the pitch motor, hold it down for maybe about 2 seconds, it would stay fixed in that position. With this thing, if I push it down, it's going to trip out a little bit like it is right now. It's not going to stay fixed. So same thing with the roll. If I hold it down, it's not going to stay in that position. It will detect an obstruction. It's going to limit the power to that motor, and then as soon as you let go, it's going to readjust and go back to normal. But I would have liked to see this gimbal It's definitely a firmware thing. They could easily add this feature via firmware. But I would like to see that feature on this gimbal as well. The Came TV Argo, I can set anything by hand and it will just obey what I want it to do. This thing, it's a little bit more limited, but I can't complain because it stays level. I've never had any issues with it drifting. I've only had it for 2-3 hours, but I haven't had any issues with it at all. These motors are absolutely silent. And again, I strongly recommend getting some sort of quick release system, even if it's a little one, like for the Joby Gorilla Pod, because when you flip it upside down, it's a good thing to have because you can rest your hand up on that quick release system. This thing gets pretty low to the ground, a lot lower than the King TV Argo. So if I want to get people's feet in a shot or something like that, this thing will pull it off easily. And it auto detects inverted mode as well. And there's no any exposed cables or wires here, which I'm pretty happy about. There's one little wire near the roll motor, but it's tucked away, so it can't hit anything. So that's good. And it's black, it's not red or any other abnormal wiring color, so you can't really tell that it's there. And the only reason why it's exposed is because this is an adjustment arm. So they had to expose it. They couldn't really tuck the wire away in any other direction. But everything else, the wires also go down through this area here. It's all covered up by this nice textured cover-up tape. So I like that. Each adjustment arm has markings on it, like rulers. So you can actually have a little notebook with you, and once your camera is balanced, you can mark down those markings and remember that for the next time you balance your camera, so it'll be a nice, quick, easy setup. But yeah, that is the Zhiyun Crane. Zhiyun, that's how you pronounce it. Zhiyun Crane. All right, let's answer some questions here. MC Drone is asking, Josh, when will you get some footage up from it? It would be cool to see the results. So I need about 5 days to get footage from this thing. I want to go to the beach. I want to go to Santa Monica. I want to get as much footage as I can. I want to shoot different people. So I need a few days for that. And by next week, I should have a review video out and a comparison video out, and hopefully even a tutorial video out. I'm going to have a whole new training series on these kinds of gimbals because this is the new thing that's happening. Single-handed gimbals are a new technology. Eventually everyone's going to have one of these, so I'm going to create a whole tutorial series on using this and how to capture certain shots. Okay. Golden Key says, I need one of those instead of a Glidecam. Maybe. I mean, gimbal technology has become unbelievable. And for, I think, $100 more, you can buy one of these things compared to it. I think a Glidecam's $420, something like that. $100 more, you can get one of these things. But don't get me wrong, if it weren't for Glidecam, I would not be as good as I am today with gimbals in general. So Glidecam, if you can spend $200 on a manual Glidecam, do that, learn it, then 6 months from now, sell it, save up for one of these, and you'll be able to balance it quickly and use it quickly. Always learn how to use manual things before you go into computer-based technology. That's just my theory. I understand things a lot better that way. So yeah, hopefully you do too. Do I use an ND filter? I use a polarizer. That kind of stops down light and it limits the amount of reflection and glare I get. So yeah, sometimes I use a polarizer. I don't have an ND filter. I have a polarizer though. Yeah. And I just got a new set of ND filters and a polarizer filter for the Mavic Pro. That's another video I'm going to be doing for Monday, reviewing those ND filters. It's from a company called Sandmark. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a good video. I wanted to upload a new video tomorrow and the next day, but my spacebar key on my computer broke. So I have to go to the Apple store and get that fixed. I won't be able to edit without a spacebar key. That's for sure. So I need to get that fixed. Hopefully they'll do it right in the store and I won't have to worry about it. Golden Key says, I've had my Glidecam, the cheap version, for a year and have not learned to fully use it yet. Wow, see? So yeah, Glidecams definitely do take time. Definitely do take time. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Any more questions, guys? You get about 12 hours of battery life. I haven't used it for 12 hours yet, so once I do, I'll let you know how I feel about this thing. Any more questions, guys? Golden Key, you are welcome for all the info. Again, I constantly upload new content on my channel specifically for glide cams and drone stuff, just because I know that's a big topic going on right now. So I need to teach as many people as I can, give them as much information as I can, so they can become pros. Because being an entrepreneur, you know, it's about having passion, but it's also about making money. So that's why I'm creating these videos for you. MC says, I've been using a Glidecam for 5 years and still learning. Wow, okay. Nice, man. I've had my Glidecam for about, I think, 4 years. 2013, I think, is when I bought mine. Yeah, fantastic. It's great, guys. It's great. All right, well, I'm gonna call it quits here, guys. I gotta go to the Apple store, get my computer fixed. Damn spacebar broke, so I hope I don't have to ship it anywhere because that would be a nightmare. I cannot be without my computer because I constantly do work on it. Okay, here's a good question. What are your thoughts on IBIS? For those of you who don't know what IBIS is, it's in-body image stabilization. The A7 II series, the Mark II series for the A7 Sony cameras have in-body stabilization. So basically the sensor is absorbing any shakiness. I like to keep it off because I actually left a comment on one of my videos. Another person asked a similar question. He said that he asked the same question, and I told him to leave it off because if I do some movements with the Glidecam or with some sort of a gimbal, the sensor, the camera, might think that I'm doing some other sort of movement. It doesn't know that it's on a gimbal, so it might be counterintuitive. So it's going to try and probably move the opposite direction or try to compensate for a pan or a tilt or something. So I leave it off, and you will get smoother shots. That way your camera won't fight against the gimbal. All right? So yeah. All right, guys. So keep leaving comments in the comment section below. Because I will leave this live stream up on my YouTube channels for more people to check out. So thank you so much for watching. Leave any more questions and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'm having trouble speaking because I'm just so excited about this thing. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. Have fun, safe filming, safe flying, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.